Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another awesome video, I hope. So, we're going to get straight into it. I'm going to be walking through the model onboarding system that we use at my agency so you guys can try and copy it for yourselves, learn a little bit of info about how agencies further down the line manage onboarding. It's going to be a very useful video. And again, as a quick notice, if you are interested in getting a breakdown of exactly how we did at my agency, scaled a model from $0 a month to $80K a month, there's going to be a full breakdown in the description below. You can access that in a free community. So join there. Then, of course, if you want private consulting, there's also a link to booking a call. So let's get into it. A 3-click model onboarding system to keep models loyal and motivated. Okay. So the number one thing that lots of agency owners get wrong is that they are quick to overlook the importance of onboarding models the correct way, okay? Because that can be the difference between your model becoming a huge success, making $60K a month, or your model just not being a success at all, okay? That's how integral the onboarding process is, and it could be the difference between her being a success with you or her being a success with a different agency. And of course, you'd rather her be a success with yourself. Okay, so to explain this process so it's very clear, I like to use analogies, and the analogy we're going to be using is pit stops on a racing track. Okay, so when you go to a pit stop, you fuel up, change tires, you maintain the racing car so it can go out there and keep on doing laps, okay? Now, you can look at the laps of the circuit as successfully scaling an OnlyFans model, okay? So the model's the race car, you want to get her around the track as quick as possible to scale her up to high 5 figures or 6 figures, okay? Now, if your pit stop process is sloppy, the racing car is going to take longer to get out on the circuit and start doing laps, which is why, you know, if you watch F1 or stuff like that, you'll notice that the pit stops are very quick and as efficient as possible. They're looking to shave, milliseconds off their time because that is integral to the broader picture of the race itself. So, also something else to note is that if you have a bad pit stop process, then the car may come across a few issues when it's down on the circuit. So when it's going around doing its lap. And at that point, it's too late. So you can compare this exact thing to the onboarding process, because if your onboarding process for a model is inefficient, it's going to take longer to get your model's results, and you may have complications with the model later down the line as a result of the initial interaction that they had with your agency. Okay, so for example, if you don't deliver a good way to collect your model's content, it's all a little bit confusing. She's just sending all its a bit of content over on WhatsApp. She doesn't really have any idea what type of content she needs to send, why she needs to send that content, how she can improve her content. She's got no clue how to deliver you content. That's going to slow up the whole process because you're not going to be able to distribute that content out to her OnlyFans to make money in the back end, and you're not going to be able to distribute it out to promotional mediums to get subscribers at the front end. Okay. And, you may have a model dealing with that issue with collecting content months and months and months later down the line. And if you don't have that first proper onboarding system set up efficiently, then you're going to experience those problems later down the line. I can guarantee you that. Now, first impressions do matter, so you need to make sure that you're leaving a good first impression. Okay, models want to work with professional agencies. They want to work with professional modeling agencies. It can be quite an appealing offer to them. The idea of working with a modeling agency can be exciting, whereas, you can make it as exciting as you want for them, or you can make it as painful and as sloppy as you want for them. And obviously, you're going to want the first one, you make it as good as possible for them and as exciting as possible for them, okay? So the way most OFM agencies go about model onboarding is just frankly all over the place, okay? They just send some contract over via email, which hasn't been reviewed by a lawyer. They send over just some random folder, or they just have a WhatsApp chat where the model can send over content, and they just leave them to upload content into it, and they just leave it at that. They just let the model just create the content, and they just leave it like that. And that's as far as the onboarding process goes. And after the model's done this, the model still has lots of questions. Like, well, what are you doing with this? Is there an easy way that I can see how my account is doing? Oh, I don't really understand how to deal with custom requests. I don't really understand where you want me to upload pay-per-view content, how much pay-per-view content you want, how much. It's all very confusing and up in the air for the model, which you don't want. You want it to be as simple and streamlined as possible for the model, okay? So that process will just extend the duration to get the model properly onboarded. So all it's going to do is it's going to extend the time period between you getting paid, okay? So the reason it's really bad is because you're conveying to the models that your ANC is just unprofessional and disorganized from the get-go, which is just terrible. That unprofessionalism will cause the models to start regretting their decision. They'll no longer be excited about the idea of working with the modeling agency. They'll regret their decision, and which can lead to just high churn rates. And they'll also be less excited about working with you. So if you experience lots of issues with your models, like you're just churning through lots of models, or they're just being demotivated creating content, then perhaps this is the issue for you. And you need to take a really good look at building an elaborate, simple to use onboarding system like the one we've got at my agency. So it's also going to make the model less loyal throughout the process and far more likely to go with another agency who does show professionalism. So at our agency, we've streamlined an efficient onboarding process to ensure the model remains excited and eager to work with us. And it's a very simple and comprehensive approach. 3-click onboarding system in place take the model from not being onboarded to fully onboarded. We have reporting templates, we have content creation guides, we have a private workspace plug and plays, welcome packs, and easy to book consulting calls for the model straight away. Very professional from the get-go. Okay, and this has been based on years and years of experience working with models and working with increasingly bigger and more professional models within the space as well. Okay, when you work with some of these top adult entertainers, as we are with our agency, you need to show a certain level of professionalism to work with them. Okay, now as a result, this increases the trust that she has in us in being able to fulfill our promise. Okay, and trust is huge. If they can trust your word on exactly what they need to do and exactly what that's going to achieve for them, then they're always going to stay with you. Okay, so here's an example of the onboarding process. Very simple. We have model onboarding, send the revenue sharing agreement. Has the model signed the contract? If no, we send an email reminder. Has the model responded? Yes. Ask the question, has the model signed a contract? If not, then she's not going to be onboarded. As simple as that. You don't want to be onboarding any model without a contract. Then once you sign the contract, you send the welcome email over to her. And the welcome email is very simple. It just has a link to onboarding form, link to Slack, link to private Slack workspace, link to booking and consulting calls as well. And then has the model joined Slack plus completed the onboarding form? If not, then we send an email reminder. If yes, we ask that same question again. If not, we don't onboard her. This is part of the qualification process. If you work with a model, she's not signing contracts and she's not filling out the information, some basic information that you need from her, then don't onboard her. Don't worry about onboarding her. As simple as that. Okay. So once she has done that, we then send the initial message on Slack, which basically clear instructions on how to contact you, a link to booking a call with you. If she's got any further questions, and then she books in a call. If not, we send a Slack reminder. Has the model responded? The same situation. Then we set up the model's client folder, walk through the client folder. Within the client folder, we have a welcome pack. We have the model reporting. We have where they can upload content, the content repository. We have content creation guides, how to create each individual type of content, how to upload the content to the drive. And then we have the onboarding call with the model. So we give model the access to the client folder, walk the model through the client folder, and we just set clear goals from the get-go. You want to be very transparent about the goals you're setting. Okay, so this is what we're going to do this month. We expect if we do this, we're going to hit this revenue figure. And as long as you're setting realistic revenue figures and you're being very open and transparent and hardworking with the model, then it's a recipe for success. You're just going to continue to grow month and month and month and month, okay? And it all starts from having an onboarding process like this. Now, when you install an onboarding process like this, the models experience a better onboarding process, so you're going to have a lower churn rate. They won't be less excited to work with the agency because they can see that you're going to deliver on the service based on professionalism received in the first day of onboarding. When you demonstrate some professionalism, they get really excited to work with you. You'll have all the clarity in the world and feel confident about working with you. Models will be more tolerant of issues down the road. So if potential issues do come up down the road, they're going to be fine with that because they know that you've got experience in the game. They know that you're diligent, professional, and they know that you're going to resolve the problem because of that first impression. You're going to form great relationships with your models because they'll have that much more respect for you as a service provider, and the models will stick around for longer, even with poorer results, because they'll remember the treatment that they received from you initially. Even if you've got an agency who can scale a model from 0 to 30K a month within 30 days, so really quickly, even if they see that agency, they would still work with you even if you're not achieving those sort of results, even if you're just a little bit slower when it comes to scaling the agency, purely because that they know the direction that they're heading, and they just feel a lot of relaxation, ease of stress when working with you because they know that it's all being taken care of. Okay. So in conclusion, by having a thorough, efficient onboarding process, you can remove any chance of buyer's remorse. Structuring your onboarding process and a simple 3-click system each time you onboard a model will allow you to be more confident in the service you provide and will allow you to focus on other aspects of the business. These potential issues aren't going to come up later down the road. Models will be more likely to respect you and show loyalty to your agency because they believe in the professionalism of your agency based on the experience they had when first working with you. This will cause a low churn rate for your agency, which will give you more security when working with models, and it's going to frankly stop you having a bunch of headache down the road. And as mentioned, onboarding is a crucial element, and the majority of agency owners overlook. And if you can really perfect the onboarding process, you will be better than 99% of OFM agencies. Okay, so in short, that is the model onboarding system, and it's helped people achieve results like the following. There's us managing a 62K a month account, 12K client there, signing models, 5K in the first week, $100 first day, 12K first month in 21 days, 0 to 2.4K a month within a week, 8K in 1 month, 4.2K in 1 month, going from $500 a day to 1K a day with his agency, $821 in first week, $25,000 a month with just one model, 2 months to 13K a month, scale the agency 10K to 20K a month in profit, able to join the program within 90 days, went from no models to being able to get models to 50K a month. And the list goes on. You can check out more of our case studies at OnlyFans Millions on Instagram. And you can go to my own personal Instagram, which I'll leave a link to, where you can look at some more case studies and the results that we've been able to help people achieve from implementing systems like this. Okay? So I hope you got some value from this video. If you did, make sure you join the free description in the link below for a ton more value. And as well as that, if you're interested in working with us one-on-one to implement the exact systems that we've got running for our agency, like the ones you've seen in this video, then book in a call below and we'll install all our agency systems so you can scale an agency from $0 to 50K a month within 90 days. Okay, so I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.